All right, good evening. I'd like to call our park board meeting to order. Roll call, Janice, please.
Jose is absent. Kara,
Present.
Robin,
Yes, present.
Scott,
Present.
Kristen,
Present.
and Chuck Gardner is absent.
At this time, if we could all rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have public input session. If anybody signed up or would like to speak, I don't approach the podium.
What's your assignment, please? Is there a pen up there? Thank you.
Hello, John Holzhauser, 453 Megan Way, Community Estates. I'm here tonight to advocate for our neighborhood and the children of our neighborhood for a park. We were here last month. A neighbor, Pat Kalina, spoke at the public input session, and we raised the concern of the neighborhood park then. You know, we want to ensure that we're advocating for the neighborhood to get this park. There are a ton of young families with lots of kids. It's an expanding neighborhood. There's still some undeveloped lots, so, you know, we anticipate more families to come and don't want to be leaving our neighborhood to go to parks to play with our kids and to gather and congregate with our neighbors. So, you know, want to ensure that we're getting this on the agenda going forward so that we can hopefully get this park in the future and, you know, have a place for all the kids to gather and play. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Can we talk about the same thing?
Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to talk about what John just mentioned. My name is Raj Agarwal. I live at 10209 Addison Road, Munster. I know there has been a lot of email exchanges and conversations about the park and some concerns about locations. I'm here more so to speak as if you guys need help from us, please let us know what the residents of the community can do and help you out, because it truly needs to be a team effort, right? So if we can do something, please do let us know. I got a 4-month-old kid. John's got Bo, and Eric just moved into our neighborhood. He's got 2 kids, one on the way, or almost 2 kids, one on the way in 2 weeks. So as John mentioned, we are growing, and our kids sometimes have to travel across Columbia to get to other parks without a sidewalk. So if we can have a park in our neighborhood, it will be a lot safer for the kids and the family members who reside there. So I would like to close just saying that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? Okay, Mark, did we have any electronics?
No, we did not.
Okay. All right, at this time, we move to approval of our consent agenda. We can have a motion to approve that.
A motion to approve. I'll second.
Was that Kara? Or
Robin.
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 Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Looking down here.
Was there any discussion or questions? No. Roll call, James.
Kara,
Yes.
Robin, yes. Scott,
Yes.
Kristen.
Yes.
This brings us to our reports. So Mark, we have our March board report.
Yes, so I'll go through and highlight a few things that were included within that report. The West Lakes Park Washroom Building, we have something on the agenda today that was necessitated after the general contractor was awarded the project. They submitted to pull the permits. The town engineer, upon review, had a couple small changes for them. Also based upon information we finally received back from NIPSCO, caused some electrical changes that we had to accommodate as well. So that's the reason for the change order number 1 that's on our agenda for today. They were all necessary to implement the requirements that they passed along. So we got the general contractor and their subs to put a price to those changes, and that's what's before you on the agenda today. The golf course management, Chris is here again today. The transition has occurred, and he'll probably give a little bit more detail here coming up at the end of this report. Cobblestone's part of the courts project. They started putting up a snow fence around out there this week, and that those courts will be, they just submitted the necessary forms to the building department to get that project started and to get the necessary permits that they are required to have for that. So that'll be beginning very soon out there. The School Town of Munster Tennis Courts project, if you wanted to wear, they had a ribbon cutting or a groundbreaking ceremony on March 5th. That is well underway. Lots of earth has already been moved out there. So they are moving right along with that project, and probably looking at mid-summerish before that'll be completed, obviously pending weather, which you never know with construction. The Centennial Park parking registration, this opened up March 1st for residents to register. We are just at about 5,000 plates already registered into that system. So people are doing good. Last year, I think we were just over 10,000 by the end of the season. So if we're halfway there, that's a good thing to get a lot of people registered. So I'll point out for anyone here, if you haven't registered your cars, please do so. There's a website. We mailed out a postcard. Everyone should have got it home. We'll send that a second time. And we try to reach out to those who are dog park members through our email blasts and some of the other resources that we have to get the word out. The message boards also just went up this week out of the park as well as reminders that enforcement will begin on April 1st. So we want to try and get everyone registered prior to then if possible. On the recreation side of things, summer brochure planning's in full swing. You'll see fees next month for that coming to you. The summer recreation intern, we've interviewed and hired for that. Nina Garner out of Munster will be our summer intern starting in the middle of May. Our office clerk position, the part-time helper that we have that mainly helps a lot with parking, is posted publicly. We are starting interviews on that next week. Bands for the summer concert series and all the civic concerts have been secured. That'll be included as part of our summer activity lineup within that summer recreation guide. Summer camp themed, all the details were finalized, put out for registration on March 11th. We did 7 o'clock at night registration. If you happen to come by that night, I know Carol was here. There was chairs throughout the hallway. Even though we started at 7 p.m., our first person was in line before the front door of Town Hall opened at 7 a.m. So she was here. And several others throughout the day, they kept continuing and they were here. So it's a very desired program. Out of the 900 spots available, we filled 850 of them that week, that night. So you can see that it sells out pretty quickly here. Munster Pool has begun our interview process with differing candidates there. We are still looking for additional lifeguards and attendance and admissions positions for this coming summer. On the maintenance side of things, there's a lot of the winter maintenance that's going on when we're not doing as much maintenance out in the park. So chainsaws and servicing gators, reattaching they did get out to a lot of our backstops, reattached the chain link at the bottom of the ball field backstops. We did some work based out of some, we met with Haas out at the Beaker Woods and some little bit more larger stumps and trees that have fallen to get through those cuts and try to get that ready and lend a hand towards that ultimate improvement out there. Some graffiti was on the fence along the Pennsy Greenway. We got to go and clean that up. The retaining wall blocks in the South Centennial parking lot was also something that after snowplow season, there was some work that we had to get out there to take care of as well. With that, Chris is here from the golf course. I'm gonna let him step up to the mic and report on the golf course side of things, since Orion is now out there.
Yeah, as Mark said, transition is complete through Orion. It actually went very smoothly for us. Members of the Orion team were out March 2nd to the 5th. They helped us kind of install the new equipment, upload all of our membership profiles, any remaining inventory, and train the staff on the new point of sale system. Our first date open under Orion Golf Management was on March 5th. In this first week with Orion, did 416 rounds. 224 carts, an additional $6,000 in new memberships. To us, this was notable given that it was still really early in the month of March there. On March 11th, we held our first staff meeting going over the new Orion handbook, operating procedures, and any safety protocols that we wanted to implement there. With the warmer weather, we actually have seen a lot of growth around the course. So we've been actually out, Dan and his crew have been out rolling the greens, cutting the tees, cutting the greens as well too. This is about a week earlier than what we'd expect. We have brought on 2 new grounds crew. Both of them worked last year, so they've actually been out cleaning up debris around the course and along the fence line around the neighborhoods as well too. Dan is getting ready to put the first application and treat the course for the first time coming up here, I believe this week. All of our sprinkler parts have been ordered in preparation for starting the irrigation in the middle of April. And then some of our upcoming projects we're looking at repairing some of the damaged cart paths that were kind of taken up with the new methane pipe that went through last year. And then we want to thank Mark and actually the town too. We have been able to get some of the soil from the other projects you're doing to kind of fill in some of the low spots around the course. So.
The other thing I'll add, in that report, we gave a table of all the fees for 2026. This isn't something you have to approve because that's the fees that they have, but we just wanted to share it with you and have it available. That's something obviously we've asked Orion as part of this to do better for us as a town. And they reassessed all the fees and I don't think there's drastic changes in there. Some small things, they've shifted a few things around. Made some clarifications with things, maybe, and kind of just made it a little bit clearer for everybody to understand what those fees are going into this season. We envision that over the next 2 to 3 years, there will be continue to be adjustments over time. We didn't want to see one big massive, increase at one point. So it'll be continual over time in the next few years here. So with that, with Chris or with my report, if anyone has any questions, otherwise. That's what we submit for you next month.
Thank you.
I had a question, Mark, about the Fisher Street Trail repave project.
Yes.
Report said you had a meeting with NIPSCO. Can you say more about that?
That trail is all through the NIPSCO corridor, so it's on their property. So anything we do there, they have to approve of. So getting the repave, even to repave the existing what's out there, they need to give us that necessary approval. So Public Works and I met with them. We submitted the plans for what we expect to be for the grind and resurface where that work will be. We also are looking to add a sidewalk connection from Harrison where it tees into Fisher. There's a truncated dome on the north side of Harrison. I'm sorry, on the north side of Fisher at Harrison. We want to just bring a sidewalk to the pathway itself. So this is almost right in front of Public Works, or actually it's right in front of the fire station 2 over there. And this was a suggestion from our fire chief actually, because he's seen people who come that way and have to cross through the grass to get over to it. So again, that was another one. We needed to submit them the depths of excavation and then the plans for what we're putting in there. They also wanted to know what the equipment is that's going in there, because as you can envision, anything tall, a dump truck, as it goes up and lifts, they want to know the clearance from the top of that truck to their lowest hanging wire that's above it. So, and then of course, they also share that with the pipelines that are also in that same property corridor in that easement. So that's all been done and ready. We're waiting still for the bridges project to be completed and the Schoon ditch work to be completed. But I think we were gonna try and jump on the, getting the portion of the trail repaved from Public Works to Calumet. And then through the park and the school properties first. That piece of it through the park and the school doesn't need any NIPSCO coordination. So whenever we're ready, we can get that done. It's gonna be everything going further east from Columbia. That'll be a little bit more drawn out. We have to find out whether or not how much damage they did for the Schoon ditch cleanup work, and then also with the Bridges Over Ditches project, if they, the crane that comes in to move the bridge in, could cause some damage there, and if it does, that'll be a fix that'll be coming on them as a little bit, so. But that's where we're at with that, so we're getting geared up for it, getting the permissions in place, so when we're ready, we can actually get it, awarded and get that construction project started.
So is that tentative this season still?
It is the plan to be this year, yes. I don't have a definite date. I'd like to say sooner than later, but I can't say for sure. The Schoon Ditch project is supposed to be wrapped up here by the beginning of summer. The Bridges project seems to be on course still. The bridge is actually supposed to arrive first week in April, or the bridges, I should say. Then they'll be putting them in place and doing the other adjacent work to that project.
Okay. Next are items for discussion. Our first is Mark already mentioned the Cobblestone Park Court improvement contract ratification.
This is the item last month. You gave me the authorization to enter into that. We had an opportunity to save some money if we got that completed and signed before the end of February, which we did. So we've engaged that. So we're just seeking your ratification of that action. The attached contract, which is in today's packet.
And this was funded through our last two bonds.
The last two bonds, yeah, the funding for this will come from the 2024 and 2024 Geo bond and 2025 park bond.
Okay.
It's a mixture of funds from the two.
So we are looking to approve the ratification of this contract.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it. Krista, by the way.
Any questions, discussion? Roll call, Janice?
Kara,
Yes.
Robin, yes. Steph,
Yes.
Kristen,
Yes.
The next item is our West Lakes Park restroom facility. It's a change order.
Yeah, I mentioned this one earlier a little bit, but the original plans had to be changed. So this is an additional, the original contracted price. This will be increased by $34,343.80 to that original contracted price. So that is the value of this change order number one. Because we have a contract that you previously approved with them, we need this brought to you and seeking your approval for that change order number one amount for the West Lakes Park restroom facility project.
This was also covered by our 2024 bond.
And this will be from the 2024 Geo bond that will cover this additional change. Yes.
Okay, so we are looking to approve.
Yeah.
Did NIPSCO have to run extra lines?
They do not for electric. Gas, we will see another bill down the road because there's no existing gas service out there. So the gas is still coming. They will not even give us a price until we have walls up where they can connect to. Once that's there, then they'll give us the price, and of course,
So this is
we
straight
don't
up
have a
electric.
choice to negotiate
It
with them.
doesn't
whatever.
include the,
This is strictly electrical related NIPSCO issues, yes.
Do we expect, how long before we expect another NIPSCO thing?
I think we're gonna be pretty good. I mean, now that we have this with them and they can begin construction out there, it's gonna be the gas that'll be that'll be the, once we're ready for it, getting them back out there. I can, unfortunately, NIPSCO steers their staff based upon current need, and like right now, this last week or two, because of the tornadoes in this area and the storms, and they pulled them all off of any work. They were doing work for us out on the project for Centennial Park to get the electrical redone there. They stopped and haven't even looked at that for 2 weeks. So they just sent an email today that said, okay, well, the 24th is when we can meet next. But understandable, those are more pressing issues for them to deal with. So something that's new gets pushed down the down the road for them, so.
And the gas also blocks the opening of the restroom facility.
We would want it to be open by that time. We could potentially open it. But the hope is that that'll happen simultaneously as we're finishing up the indoor aspect and the finishes on the inside of the facility. So.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Carol will second.
Roll call, Janice.
Carol,
Yes.
Robin, yes. Scott,
Yes.
Kristen.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is our community park softball field that we shared with Munster High School as well. There was an issue with the fence lines and some shifting there, so it had to be, or it needs to be fixed, and that's clearly a safety issue. And once they saw, I said shifting to.
Yeah, and they've, some of the outfield fence, mainly the outfield fence, some of the fence lines going down towards the outfield corners of, as well, but some areas have heaved, the posts and the concrete that the posts are set in up to probably 10 inches. So, you know, besides a ball getting under there, it's also the bottom of the fence, which is not bent down like the tops of fences, so it becomes a catching place if someone's going there, whether it be a foot, a hand, a glove, anything like that. We met with School Town staff and looked at this. They were able to secure the proposal initially, and they shared it with us. We did have money in our 2025 park bond for doing softball field improvements, so we're going to steer that into this. It's slightly higher than that. It's $22,684 are these improvements, which are going to be on fields A and B of the softball fields. But we have that proposal in there. I did check with Scott ahead of time because we wanted to jump on this as quick as we can because their softball seasons, they've already started practicing. Games will begin in April. We were hoping and still hoping that this will be done before they take on any games. They will be dropping fabric down and reusing fabric. It's a lot of new posts are going to be put in as part of this work. So, but we're bringing this to you for your ratification of that purchase that we have ordered through Fence Masters Inc. for a cost of $22,684. And this, as I mentioned, this will be paid for out of the 2025 park bond proceeds.
So we are looking to motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve.
Carol will second.
Roll call, Janice.
Carol,
Yes.
Robin, yes. Scott,
Yes.
Kristen.
Sorry, may I ask a question? Should I abstain from this vote? Since
I
I
don't
was,
think so.
no, but I also have a parent of a child on that softball team. Am I okay to vote? Okay.
don't have financial interest.
No, I do not. But yes, I vote yes. But yeah, I do not have a financial interest. Thank you.
We're happy to accept donations.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, we do have an agreement with D's Eats Concessions to run our concessions at various locations. This agreement does exempt Babe Ruth. They will continue, if you remember, to run their own concession stand. And this is for 1 year, but
It's 1 year with 3 additional 1-year renewals, if you will.
Okay.
So it allows either one of us, if we're unsatisfied, we can basically terminate pretty easily. I don't suspect that to be the case. They do a lot of other schools, a lot of other youth sports, little leagues and complexes like that across Northwest Indiana. He's been doing this for quite a few years. They're really excited to get in here and start going on this. So we will get a 20% net sales from both facilities. So they'll be doing the pool concession stand and Triple Play Cafe at Community Park. They toured the facilities. They reviewed the attached agreement that's already here. They're willing to execute it. It's just a matter of the ball being in your court if you approve it tonight. We got a meeting set up with him early on Monday and next week. He'll be coming in to sign it, pending your approval tonight.
Great.
So we're recommending the approval of the concessions operating agreement, which was drafted by Nicole.
Can I ask a question about
Yes.
the Babe Ruth concession stand?
Yes.
Why do they operate their own concession stand?
That's been one that they wanted to secure the additional revenue for their program a couple of years ago. So when it first came about, they originally added on they paid for the concession stand that's attached to the Babe Ruth press box. Because of that, they were running it for many years. They got to the point where their volunteer group said, we don't have the manpower, we don't have the staff, we don't have the parental involvement to run it anymore. Town, take it over. The town took it over for about 10 to 15 years, I would guess, Kevin, or we,
Even that long.
maybe that, I don't know, somewhere maybe 10-ish. And then, but the new group that's currently running it is all excited. They have one parent who said, I'm gonna run it for us, make us some more money. They came in and have done it. So we backed away and said, okay, fine, do it. The thought is if they are able to make more money, they're gonna pour it right back into those facilities and be less reliant upon us to make repairs and fix things like that. For instance, they're getting a new scoreboard. They're supplying that out of their revenue. So they have that opportunity. That one's a little bit easier because that's also servicing the two main Babe Ruth fields, whereas Triple Play Cafes really was designed to service softball and baseball, softball and Little League. So it's kind of a matter of, okay, if we chose to give that to one of those other leagues, which one, then we become playing favorites. I think at this point, we have the opportunity where the service is there for an organization like this. We're still gonna need concessions at the pool anyways. Previously, the golf course management group, Troon, ran these all for us. With the new company coming in, we said, let them concentrate on golf, and we sought this out. And DZ's, I think, is a good find for us in this situation.
And did they have any concern with having that other concession stand?
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay, so we are looking to approve these needs as our new concession here.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it, Kristen.
Any other questions, concerns? Roll call, James?
Kara?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Scott,
Yes.
Kristen.
Yes.
Which brings us to our last item for discussion, and this is the Beaker Woods Mountain Bike Trail. And I know Austin's here tonight. If there's any questions, or multi-use trail, I should say. Mayor looking to recommend a motion to approve the authorization for the creation of this multi-use trail.
I do just want to point out, we did complete a title search. Nicole was able to get that completed for us, and that was shared with us. I don't want to mention what we shared with us in that title search.
The title search, brought forth the transfer of Beaker Woods to the parks back in '60s. At that time, the only restriction on the property was that it was dedicated for public use for parks, for a 10-year window. With no restrictions after that. Obviously, the town had honored that at that point, has maintained that and continues to do so. Which obviously, serves the purpose even beyond, but clearly what is proposed, it's the restriction even for that 10-year period was, as I said, just for public use. So clearly, even though we're outside of that period of time, this continues use of the woods as well as, enhances that for even greater public involvement. So other than that, there was a 1940s easement having to do for utilities, really, it's pretty clean title otherwise. So in that respect, and not any other restrictions was a nice surprise.
So as part of this resolution, there is an exhibit that is a rule sign. So your approval of this resolution is approving, we're defining that says, yes, permission is being granted for this multi-use trail. We're primarily mountain biking, but we're going to know there's going to be other walkers and trail runners and dog walkers, things like that. But we also wanted to have rules defined. Haas and I've been going back and forth on some of the different things. We'll get, continue to move forward and progress with setting that up, but your resolution approval tonight would include those initial setups. So basically, this is the full authorization that we said, yep, we're going. This is a nice recreational addition to our community that we previously really didn't have. It's a very unique property, as you all know. And I think it's going to expose that property to many other users that maybe never had a reason to go there as much. And I actually walked it earlier today again, and it's amazing the clearing, just blowing leaves off of an area and getting some of the brush that was laying there, some of the down branches and trees and things like that cleared out, how quickly it opens up. So it is a nice little walk out there, but obviously it's we've talked about it several times over, but bringing it to you today with that recommendation to approve this resolution.
So we'll be able to
2026.
get signed up, all that by spring,
Yes,
hopefully.
yes, yeah.
I'll motion to approve.
Carol will second.
Okay, any other questions or concerns? Roll call, James?
Carol?
Yes.
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 And that concludes tonight. I think we have a motion to adjourn.
I'll motion to adjourn.
Kristen will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Our next meeting is Tuesday, April 21st. Everybody enjoy the rest of St. Patrick's Day and the upcoming